Hi, my name is Becca Bursell, and this is the video preview of the Safe Haven Business Tracker for Norwex distributors. This tracker will track all of your financial information for your business, including any trades, any purchases for your inventory, any purchases that customers make directly from Norwex, all expenses, all types of income. I'm going to quickly show you the various tabs that are in the tracker so you can see where you put everything and how the tabs function together. So this first tab is the instructions tab. There, if you scroll to the right, there's instructions for each of the tab. They're very thorough. So if you have any questions, make sure you go through here. There's, like I said, an instruction page for each of the different tabs listed down here at the bottom. The next tab is the profit and loss tab. Right now it's totally blank because there's no information yet loaded in this tracker, but you can see that it's sorted by month and then also a year-to-date column, so you can total up and see what your income is, your cost of goods sold, all your expenses, your net income down here at the bottom, and then also a current inventory value will be calculated. The next tab is the master customer list. This is where you can sort all of your customer information. Your customer names also needed to be loaded in here to show up on the income tabs you'll see later. So we'll just add in a couple names to demonstrate with. Also, if you were going to list all these names, you wanted them sorted differently, any of these arrows here up at the top, if you click them, it'll resort. So I can sort A to Z and it put those back in order. You can put really as little or as much information as you want in here. Birthdays, emails can go over here, phone numbers. You can use this as much as you want to. Next tab is the current inventory tab. And this has a preloaded list of all the items in the most recent catalog. They're sorted by alphabetical order. In here you'll see the item name, the item number, the cost, which right now is 0 because it's calculated by when you purchase it. Since there's no purchase orders entered yet, right now it's 0, but that'll change. It has the catalog price, also the quantity on hand, and the value on hand. So it'll take the cost times the quantity, what's your value on hand. The next tab is the first tab you'll enter inventory into. The profit and loss and the current inventory tabs, those are both only calculating tabs, and they only pull information from other tabs. They are not, you don't enter anything directly into those. So first, this beginning inventory tab is meant for when you have items that carry over from one year to the next. So if you started January 1st with items in your inventory, this is where they go. So for example, I'm going to put January 18th, and I'll select a couple items. So when the new year started, I had, let's say, 5 of the car mitts, and I purchased them at 35% off. So that is going to be, let me double check. So I bought those for $16.25. And I purchased 5 of them. So now if we go back to the current inventory list, you'll see the cost is $16.25. That's what I spent. I have 5, so my total value in car mitts is $81.25. The beginning inventory, the cost does not or automatically pull because you can have a different average cost that calculates, and I'll go into that a little bit more in a second. The next tab is purchase orders, and this is anything you order from the company that goes into your inventory. These are not items that are sold directly to the customer. Those get entered only on the inventory. So if you place a big order of items that you're going to keep in stock for you to sell, that's where you'd enter these. So say in January, on the 15th, at the 35% discount level, I got the 4-in-1 kids wash, and I wanted to order 4 to keep those on hand. And then I also got, in that same order, same discount, I got some toothbrushes. Okay, so you'll see I've added, it automatically pulled the cost. I put in the quantity purchased, I go back to my current inventory, and now those show up here in inventory as well. You can see that the items that are on hand are highlighted in yellow, so it's easy to scroll through the list and see what you have. You can also see at the very end of this list, there is a total of all the items I have. There's also some blank spaces so that throughout the year, if new items are added or new limited edition items are released, then you can add those yourself. And you'll enter the item name, the item number, and the price. And then the cost, quantity, and value are calculated automatically. So we've gone over beginning inventory, purchase orders. The next tab is product returns. If for some reason you got something defective and you're sending it back to the company, this is where you'd enter it. So say on the 17th, I realized that one of those 4-in-1 kids wash had leaked, and so I want to send that back. Then I'm going to go in here, I'm going to check the cost was $12.99, and I'm going to return one item. So before I had 4, and then it took that one back out of my inventory because I sent it back. Next tab is trades and inventory adjustment. This is this is a really usable tab for anything that doesn't fit into anything else. So for example, if you trade an item with another distributor, say you have a green toothbrush and they want a red toothbrush, you can enter that trade here. And the way you would do that is I would pick the item that I had on hand. So I had that dark green toothbrush and the cost was $13.64. So I'm going to enter that here. And I gave one to someone else. So it's -1. And I'm going to say, just to trade in the notes, I got back a different color. So I'm going to enter the one that I received in exchange. I got the light blue one. I'm going to enter the same cost because since I'm trading them, they're of equal value. And I got one of those. So I'm going to add a +1 in there. So if I go to my current inventory, you can see now I have one of those light blue in my inventory. This is also a tab where you can enter anything you take out for personal use. So on that same day, I said, oh, well, I need a new toothbrush, and I'm just going to take one of the dark green ones I have on hand. So I can take that out of my inventory. When it's for personal use, this is the only step. You're just going to remove it from inventory. And you'll see it deducted that number. Now I don't have any left, right? Because I ordered 2, I traded 1 away, and then I also took 1 out for personal use. The other thing you can do on this tab is expense an item for a demo product. So if I was going to use one of those car mitts as a demonstration product when I go into a party, I can expense that cost. So I'm going to select that item from the list, 3-in-1 car mitt. Whoops. I can go to my current inventory and that cost me $16.25. I'm going to take one out and I'm going to say demo product. When you do this, and you can expense it as a business expense, there's one more step, and that's to go to your expenses tab, your monthly tab. This is January, so I'm going to go to my January expense tab, and I'm going to expense that cost of the item so I can write that cost off. So this one was a demo product, and it was $16.25, and I can make a note that it was the 3-in-1 car mitt. And we'll come back and do the rest of these expenses here in a second. So this trades tab is really functional. I did a trade. I took something out for personal use. I took something out as a demo product. The other thing you can do is if you get something for a really goofy price for some reason or a promotion, you can, and it doesn't fit in to your discount levels on your purchase order tab, you can add it to your inventory through this trades tab and just enter the cost manually. All right, our last 2 tabs are the income and expense tabs, and there's an income and expense tab for each month of the year. So first I'm going to go into my January tab and say I made my first sale on the 25th of January. From this list I can pick who it's from, Abby, and she saw my 3-in-1 car mitt and loved it. So I'm going to select it from here. You can see that as soon as I select an item, the full retail value pops up for $24.99. Now I can choose either to sell it from my current inventory or to select that it was shipped directly from Norwex to the customer. So in this case, I had some on hand, so I took it from my current inventory. She bought one. So my gross sales is the full retail value times 1 is $24.99. The cost of goods sold was pulled from the current inventory list. If I shipped it to her, I could enter that here. I gave her a friends and family discount. My taxes charged, I can choose to enter that here. These cells on this January income tab, you can enter your sales tax rate and it'll automatically calculate the sales tax that should be charged. If your credit card processor rounds it somewhat differently, I can always go in here and manually change this. So say they calculated it at 130, I could go in there and change that. These processing fees are your credit card processing fees. If they're charged per transaction, you can enter them here. And then my total sale, what I actually got from it was $26.87. Now, alternatively, if Abby wanted something that I didn't have in stock, I could go here and say, well, I don't have the regular green medium toothbrush, but I can order it for you and it'll ship directly to her. And in that case, I don't have it pulling from my current inventory. I'm going to ship it directly to her. This just bypasses that current inventory tab and still records the sale. So in that case, I got $22.14. I could say something like Abby is Becky's sister. If I need to make any notes about it, I can also say shipped 127. So I've got notes on that. Lastly, on this income tab, there's this other box, other monthly income. And this includes anything else that isn't a sale. So any commissions you get from your team, any bonus product income, you can record in this box over here. And there's detailed explanation as to how to calculate these other monthly income items in the instructions. The last tab is the expense tab. We already did one demo product expense, but you'll see that all of these categories here are in this drop-down list. So anytime you buy something for your business, you can you can select marketing materials. You got business cards from Vistaprint and they were $9.99. You can put that in there. The totals calculate here. And now that we've done some of everything, we can go back to the profit and loss. And that has started to calculate. So you'll see my sales from the January income tab pulled here. My cost of goods sold pulled here. And the expenses that I incurred pulled here. So my net income right now is a negative 712, but it'll calculate all of that. And as you enter your sales and your expenses, they'll all track over here. Lastly, you can see that the current inventory value is what I have left in my current inventory, and it enters that there. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. My email is bursellbookkeeping@hotmail.com. I'll put that in the notes. Also, if you have any more questions, you can also message me on Etsy if that's an easier way to get a hold of me. And let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.